Hey all, welcome to Homeschool, and we are with the chapter Sources of Energy, where we have already covered one video on sources of energy in which I have discussed the conventional sources of energy, right? And in today's video, let us discuss about what improvements have come up in using conventional sources of energy with the invention of new technologies. Okay, there are two new technologies that we will use to improve the conventional sources of energy. Under that, the very first technology that we are studying is biomass. Okay, by using biomass, we can create a very good source of energy actually. So let us study about this biomass and what is this biomass and how we can generate a very good energy for using our domestic purposes. Guys, the biomass is nothing but living matter and its residue or waste is called as the biomass. See, in day to day life we will come across too much of organic waste, yes or no? See, we will have the vegetable and fruit waste after cooking. We throw the parts of vegetable, and the fruit peels, all these we will throw it. This is what we call organic waste, the vegetable and fruit waste, right? And you will have the animal excreta, human excreta, all this is the organic waste. This is what we call the biomass. So what is a biomass? It's nothing but a living matter, living things and its waste or residue. The excretory products from animals, the excretory products from humans, and also various other organic waste together collectively is called as biomass. Using this particular biomass, we can able to create bioenergy. We can able to create bioenergy, or I will also call it as biogas. Biogas is also called as gobar gas in general, right? So with the help of biomass, we are creating biogas or gobar gas, and actually this particular biogas is the effective fuel. It is an excellent fuel which can be used for various purposes, right? Instead of using a fossil fuels, we can shift towards this biogas, which is more environment friendly and more economical also, like very cheap for setting up a bio plant. Okay, let us see how to set up a biogas plant here, how we are generating a biogas actually. See, this is what the setup. This is a dome shaped structure which is built with the bricks. Okay, and from here we will supply that slurry. So what do you mean by a slurry? Let us study the meaning of certain words here. Slurry is nothing but a mixture of cow dung. You all know what do you mean by cow dung, right? It is the waste, excretory waste from cows and buffaloes is called cow dung. Okay, so this cow dung, other organic vegetable waste, fruit waste, human waste, together we call it as slurry. Okay, it is made by mixing mainly cow dung with water. Okay, so such a waste we are calling it as slurry. So we will introduce this slurry from this opening and it will go here, right, in this particular space, and this particular area of a plant is called as digester. So let us write the points. Where is the slurry going? It is going into the digester. So what is happening in the digester is very important, guys. So whatever the waste, organic waste that is going in a digester, no, it is undergoing decomposition. It is undergoing breakage with the help of certain microorganisms in the absence of oxygen. Okay, so what I will call this process as anaerobic decomposition. Anaerobic in the sense absence of oxygen. In the absence of oxygen, decomposition is happening with the help of microorganisms. Okay, so what is happening in a digester? Anaerobic in the sense absence of air or absence of oxygen. Decomposition, You know, what do you mean by decomposition? Decomposition in the sense breaking of complex chemical substances present in the waste into simple chemical substances. Okay, so anaerobic decomposition of waste, okay, by certain microorganisms, by certain microorganisms is happening inside this digester. So whenever this particular organic waste is undergoing decomposition, that point of time a gas is getting produced, and that particular gas is called as biogas. Okay, so biogas is collected over the waste. So what will happen? Because of this decomposition, biogas is produced. Biogas is produced, okay, and collected. It is collected over the waste, over the waste slurry. You know, waste slurry is called as spent slurry also. Okay, waste slurry is called as spent slurry. After you collect the entire gas in this area, you know, above the particular substance, whatever the left out things are there, it is called as spent slurry. That is, it is a waste slurry now. Clear? Okay. Now let us understand, like, what does the biogas contain? Okay, what actually this biogas is. See here, the biogas is actually a mixture of methane gas. You all know what do you mean by methane, CH4, right? It is a mixture of methane, carbon dioxide plus hydrogen plus H2S. H2S is nothing but hydrogen sulfide. Hydrogen sulfide. Okay, and among these gases, you know, it will contain 75% of methane gas only. So among the four gases, the percentage of methane is very much high. How much? 75% of methane gas. Actually, this particular methane gas is an excellent fuel. Excellent fuel that we can use it for the domestic purposes. Clear, everybody? Fine. So that particular biogas is collected above the waste, and you know, this gas can come out through gas house outlet, and through the gas outlet we can use that gas for the cooking. Clear? Fine. And now what happens for the waste? That is, the waste is now called as waste slurry or spent slurry. So this spent slurry is actually rich. It is rich in nitrogen and phosphorus. Okay, so that is why this spent slurry is used as a manure, or it can be used as a fertilizer for our crops. Okay, so even we have used for the waste also. The waste mainly contains what elements, guys? It contains nitrogen and phosphorus in higher levels. That's the reason spent slurry, okay, acts as manure. So here there is no waste actually. So even the waste has got nitrogen and phosphorus, so it can be used as a manure. That is, it can be used as a fertilizer for our crops. Okay, so this is what we mean by biogas plant. So you must understand the diagram, and you must understand what is going inside the biogas plant. What is going inside the biogas plant? Mainly we can observe anaerobic decomposition of waste material with the help of microorganisms. Because this is happening, we are getting biogas, and that can be used as a excellent fuel for the domestic purposes. So this is all about the concept. Now let us try to discuss certain advantages of this biogas. So can you be able to tell me what advantages you will find in using this biogas? You know, definitely it's a very natural way of creating a fuel. When you use a fossil fuels like coal and petroleum, you would have observed lots of pollution, right, that affected our environment. But this is a very safest gas, and there is no pollution when you use such a gas, right? And the first and foremost is, it is actually a renewable energy. renewable energy. That means, see, organic waste keep producing as long as animals are there, as long as plants are there, organic waste keeps producing. So as long as the organic waste keeps producing, you can create a biogas. So that way I can say that this form of energy, the biogas, is a renewable energy. Okay, and the setting up of plant can be done with a low cost, right? And it is very economical, I can say. It is very, very economical, and it doesn't cause any pollution. Doesn't cause any pollution. Okay, and one more important thing is, whenever you use this particular fuel, there will not be any ash or there will not be any residue. Say for example, when you use wood for a cooking, lots of residue, lots of ash can be collected, where that can also cause certain amount of pollution. But whenever you use this biogas, there is no residue left. Okay, when you use this, there is no residue or ash left. Okay, so that I can say this biogas is a very clean fuel that can be used for the domestic purposes. So these are the advantages of biogas. So I can definitely say that invention of using this biomass is a new improvement in conventional sources of energy. And let us discuss about one more improvement in the conventional sources of energy, that is wind energy. So wind energy, you must have heard the word called windmills. Yes or no? You might have seen many windmills in some of the places, right? So what is the purpose of these windmills? What is the purpose of these fan-like structures that you will see all around? It is because using the wind energy, we are generating electricity. So that is what we will discuss here, how we can generate electricity with the help of wind energy. So first and foremost, try to understand what is this wind. Wind is nothing but flow of air. Yes or no? Flow of air in atmosphere. So when air is flowing with a certain speed, you call that as a wind. Flowing air is called as wind. So how does this wind gets created in the atmosphere? How can this air move from one place to another place? The reason behind this you have studied in your class 9, right? Let me revise that once again. See, it is due to unequal heating of land. Okay, yes, the heating of land is due to sun, isn't it? And sun's energy, sunlight, will not reach all parts of a land equally, right? In some of the part of a land, sunlight is very much high, so more heating may take place, and in some part sunlight may not reach to that place, so less heating of land takes place. So this unequal heating of land, what I call this? Unequal heating of land. Okay, this unequal heating of land generates air pressure. It will generate air pressure. Okay, this creates a pressure in the air. Whenever there creates a pressure in the air, say some area high pressure, some area less pressure. So whenever there is a pressure difference, definitely air is passed from high pressure area to the low pressure area, right? So because of this air pressure, the wind, generation of wind, okay, that means movement of air took place. Movement of air is observed. So this is the reason why the wind or air will move from one region to another region. The main reason is due to unequal heating of land that creates a kind of pressure in the atmosphere. Due to that, air is moving from high pressure area to low pressure area. Okay, so with the help of this flowing air, in other way we can call it as wind. Okay, so this wind can be helpful to generate our electricity. So what is the basic principle that we have used to generate electricity? Generator, isn't it? So we will have something like generator initially, right? And this generator is connected to a turbine, and turbine rotates. Due to the rotation of a turbine, the armature coil in a generator rotates, so change in the magnetic field takes place. And what is the principle that is involved here? Electromagnetic induction. Due to electromagnetic induction, electricity is generated, isn't it? So this particular thing is common in all power plants, in all the technologies where electricity is generated. But how do you rotate this turbine is very important. So here we are using wind to rotate the turbine. Okay, so what we are using? Wind is used to rotate the turbine, okay, so that electricity is produced in generator. You know, this is the technique that we use it in case of windmill. Clear, everybody? Say windmill in the sense you have certain fan like structures, isn't it? And this fan like structures will have a long rod, and then it is connected to a long pipe at the bottom. So this is a normal schematic diagram of a windmill. This is what we call a windmill. And this is what the turbine. Okay, and this fans, as it rotates, as this fan rotates, the turbine also rotates, and this is where in this region you will have something called generator. Okay, and inside a generator electricity is getting produced, and that electricity gets passed at the bottom. Here some transformer would be there, and that collects the electricity, and that particular electricity is used for the various purposes. Okay, so this is how actually electricity gets generated in a windmill. So the fan here is helping, as it rotates with the help of a wind, our turbine also gets rotated, so that electricity is produced in a generator. Turbine is connected to generator, so electricity is produced here, and that electricity moves down through the wires, and here you would be having certain transformers, and here our electricity gets collected. Okay, from there we can use the electricity. So this is the main technique or the principle involved in the working of windmill. Okay, so this is how wind energy is used to generate electricity. Clear? With the help of windmill. And now let us discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of windmills. Okay, and for that, one more important word you have to learn here, that is wind energy farms. So what do you mean by wind energy farm, guys? It is nothing but windmills. Windmills are built, erect in a large area. And that is called wind energy farm. Okay, so the biggest wind energy farm in India is Kanyakumari. You can find in Kanyakumari, you will find the biggest windmill farm. Clear? That means single windmill is not enough to generate electricity. Many windmills are set in a large area, isn't it? So that large area where many windmills are set up is called as wind energy farm. The biggest wind energy farm there in India is located in Kanyakumari. Remember this. Okay, fine. And now I am trying to discuss about advantages of this windmills. Advantages. So what is the advantage you will find is wind energy is a renewable source of energy, right? So we use wind energy to generate electricity, and this wind energy is renewable. That means there is no end for this energy. So as long as atmosphere is there, wind exists, wind keeps moving, right? And there is no end for this wind. I mean, you cannot tell that one fine day the wind gets exhausted, the wind gets over. No, you can't tell it, right? So that is the reason I can say the wind energy is renewable. And later, there is no pollution here. There is no pollution. Yes or no? It is environment friendly actually. You are generating electricity without any pollution. Just with the help of a wind and certain technique, you are generating your electricity, right? So these are the main advantages of the wind energy usage in generating electricity. Now let us discuss about disadvantages. Actually, there are many disadvantages here. So the major disadvantage is construction of windmill, okay, or the construction of wind energy farm takes large area. Wind energy farm takes large area, right? And it is very expensive also. And building all these fans and the material that you use to build these fans, the entire setup requires too much of money, right? So I can say this is very much expensive and this has high maintenance, right? Once you set up with lots of money, then you would also observe, high maintenance. If you don't maintain all these materials, they will get spoiled. So every now and then you have to maintain all the fan setup and everything, right? So it also involves high maintenance. And apart from that, to make your turbine work, the speed of the wind should be 15 kilometers per hour. Okay, so to make our turbine work, what is the speed of wind required? Speed of wind must be 15 kilometers per hour, guys. Okay, so every time the wind will not flow in that much high amount of speed in all the areas, right? So that is the major drawback. And the electricity produced from one windmill is very little. That's why many windmills you will find, many fans you will find, right? And all the fans require this much amount of speed to rotate. Only then the turbine rotates. Only when the turbine rotates, generator produces electricity, right? So this is the major drawback that you will see it in case of windmill. Okay, that means 24/7 your wind will not flow in 15 kilometers per hour. Only at a certain time the wind can flow in this much speed. Only then the turbine rotates, right? So that means you don't get electricity too much fast, and very little of electricity you would get out of one windmill because of this limitation, right? So these are the major disadvantages that you will find with wind energy or wind energy farm. Clear, everybody? Okay, so with this we have completed the conventional sources of energy and the improvements that are there in the conventional sources of energy with new technologies like using biomass and also as well as using wind energy. Clear? So do revise all the concepts. Let us meet up in the next class, and do subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in the easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you so much.